Hello and welcome to another building tutorial. Today I'm going to be making a wizard's forbidden treehouse. This build will include an enchanting room, a mini chest and brewing room, and a total of 4 floors. In this build I haven't used any mods or plugins that will assist my building skills. For this reason the build took me a long time to plan and an even longer time to make. So make sure you hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. You can also click the notification bell to be alerted every time I upload a new video. I hope you all enjoyed today's build anyway, so without any further ado, let's get into it. So here I am, showing off my little skin before I realise that I have to build a massive treehouse. So I'm just starting out by building a circle, which sounds weird in Minecraft. You just do 5 across, then 2, then 1, then 2 again, and then 5 once again. And that'll be a quarter of the circle. So I'm just going to follow this around the entire way. And there we go, done, easy. We're just going to raise this up by 3 more blocks to make it in total 4 blocks high. After I've done this, I'm just going to do the same circle pattern but 1 block in. This is really easy to follow along with. Okay, now that that's done, I'm going to be making this one 2 blocks taller to make a grand total of 3 blocks high. After I've done this, I'm just doing the same as what we did earlier and making it 1 block thinner. Now after this is done, we should start to see a base kind of shape going for our tree. I'm just going to add 3 blocks onto the top of this one to make it a total of 4 blocks tall. Yeah, looking pretty good so far. After I've done this, I'm just going to be adding 1 block going outwards, just like the technique where we went inwards, but this time we're just reversing it and going outwards instead. And after I've done this, a lot like the other ones, I'm just going to be making this a total of 4 blocks high, meaning that I'm going to put 3 more blocks on the top. Now as you can see, we're starting to get this kind of small castle look with the tree. We will be fixing this and making it look a lot more natural now. Right now I'm just going to go in and add trunks along the sides. There's not much method to the madness here. I just tried to make the trunks look as natural as I can, maybe make them a few blocks tall, a few blocks into the ground, and most of all I just fill out the most of the floor around the tree. Now this does take quite a long time, so I'm just going to speed up the process of me making the trunks, just so that you guys aren't too bored during this video. You do need a fairly artistic look to be able to achieve the trunks. It's all about making a few trunks and then going back at a distance, analysing what looks empty and what looks too full, and then going back in and just putting more blocks down. All of this is up to preference. You might like the amount of trunks that I've added, you may think there's too many or too little, but you can obviously change this in your build. Now even when this is sped up to Sony Vegas's max speed, it's still 2 minutes of me making trunks, so I'm just going to skip this to the end. Now you can see in this part of the build, I'm starting to edit more of the actual tree rather than the trunks itself. This is the next step. We're going to just be adding little bits coming up, little bits going down to what makes the tree look nicer. We'll be doing this for every single layer of the tree as well. Now again, this is a lengthy process, especially without using any of the plugins or mods as I said earlier. So I'm just going to be speeding this up once again. And there we go, I'm looking about finished with that. Tree's looking a little bit short right now, but I'm just going to go in and add an extra layer. I'm going to be coming one block out, just with the technique that we were using earlier. After I'm finished adding the one extra layer, just going to put one block above that to make it 2 blocks tall. And after this, I'm going to continue what I was doing earlier by editing the tree side, just to make it flow better with the layer below. Okay, yeah, I'm pretty happy with this, to be honest. It's looking really natural and on a big enough scale where it's got the wow factor, but it's not too big where it overtakes the whole world. Now, unfortunately, the next step again is very lengthy. I'm just going to be adding some big monstrous branches coming out the side. I'm going to be doing these about midway to 3/4 up the tree. One good side to this is that there is a bit of method in the madness. I kind of just pull out while it's flying and spam a load of blocks, and it makes a certain pattern where I can add one block on the bottom and one block on the top and some on the sides as well. After you've done this, you can kind of take over with your creative mind and just make them thick enough but not too thick, if that makes sense. Okay, and after I've done this, I just quickly add one more block to the top layer. After that, I'm right back down to the trunks of the tree, and I've just got some wooden planks and I'm just adding them in just like I would do with the logs to make it look more natural and random. After using the wooden planks, I've just gotten some oak fences and I'm going to be doing the same thing. There's a lot of creative mind kind of thinking to this build, but that's one of the things that make me like it a lot more. It kind of brings a lot more of your character into the building, rather than doing structures where it's meant to be a certain way. This just flows the way your mouse flows. This is just what you want it to be at the time you're making it. Coming in for round 3, I've just got some oak slabs. I'm going to be doing the same as the past 2 times. I'm pretty sure you know the drill at this point. Just make it look natural and make it look good. I'm looking pretty happy with my build. I'm just flying around it, seeing if I've gotten everything correct and the way I want it to be. Now after I'm done making any adjustments to my build, I'm just going to be putting leaves around every single block on all of the branches. Once again, this is a very lengthy process, so I'm just going to speed things up for us. About 15 minutes later of just placing leaves, I'm finally done. I'm just going to be adding one layer of leaves around the outside of the top block of the tree. I do a really weird design here looking back, and I don't know why I did it, but it looks really terrible when I'm done. I'm just going to skip to there so you can see what I mean, but we do change it in the end by adding some more branches. So yeah, there you go. There's the worst bloody top of a tree I've ever seen. So as you can see, I'm just placing some blocks here to see how tall I should really make the top. And then in a second, I just delete the whole thing and start from scratch. So after I get rid of that hideous top, I've still got a bit of it showing, but I'm basically just adding more branches coming out of the very top block of the whole tree. This means that we're going to have some branches coming out midway, 3/4 up, and then the very top. I used the same technique as earlier, where I bring the blocks out and then I fill in the void on the top, bottom and sides to make it feel more full. I've made these branches arch out, almost like if someone were to dive into a pool and I'm just following their trajectory. As I come into the finishing stages of this, I'm just mentally preparing myself to go through another 15 minutes of leaf placing. As you can see, I often come back and look at it from a distance. Just don't be afraid to give up on what you're building for a second. Go back, reevaluate, and then go back in. Here, I'm just trying to figure out where the leaves on top of the tree should go. And when I go back, I'm just looking at how high up the leaves go compared to the branches, and if it looks natural or if it looks really odd. I realized that the leaves from each branch need to come into the middle and kind of meet each other, if that makes sense. It basically means that there's ridges from the branches on top of the tree and they meet in the center. It brings up the height in the center without necessarily looking unnatural or weird. You'll see what I mean in the finished product. So after I'm happy with the top of my tree, you see me just analyzing around, and I'm going to start placing leaves down and diagonally throughout the tree. This is meant to look like big vines coming around and wrapping around the tree, showing how long this ancient thing has been here. If you really want to add more detail, you can do as I'm doing here, which is adding the leaf blocks into the floor and mixing them in with the slabs and the fences that we put there earlier. Alright, and after I'm done with this, I just get some dark oak fences to mix in with the other oak fences that we already put down. This just adds more depth and variety into the build. And after I'm done with that, that's the exterior of our entire treehouse done. Please tune in for the next episode tomorrow where we cover the interior of this building. As I said at the start of the video, we're going to be making an enchantment room, we're going to be making a chest and brewing room, and this whole structure is going to have up to 4 floors. Anyway, I've been Zero, and thank you so much for joining me in this video. I hope to see you guys in the next episode as well. Remember to hit the subscribe button down below and turn on the notification bell, and also like the video. If there's anything you'd like to see me build, just comment it down below as well. Thanks for watching.